fam? I hope you guys doing good. I hope you guys got your Pop Tarts and your orange juice. This one is from Mort. The name up there. This one called Three Very Disturbing Horror Stories Animated. Okay, let's get up to it.
This happened a few weeks ago. I was hanging out with
He
my
jumped right
friend
up
Dustin.
into it. That's cool.
We decided to go explore this creepy old abandoned asylum. It was a huge building.
Why?
About 3 stories high. We walked past the railroad. We
Why?
then continued to the old asylum. As we walked to it, I looked up and my heart dropped. From the 3rd story window, I could see someone looking down at me and Justin.
Oh my
I
goodness.
stopped and he asked me what was.
All I know is, if y'all going to go check it out, right, before y'all even get into the building, and y'all seen that, y'all better not go inside. I promise you, if y'all go inside, I'm gonna reach my hand through the phone and slap both of y'all. But that's stupid. If you seen that person, y'all should be like, never mind, bump this. We're not going in there, because somebody always decided to go and explore. Let's just see what happened to them and wait. And matter of fact, we ain't even going in there. Freak that. Freak that. Freak it, okay? Bump it and freak it. No, sir. No, Bob. No.
Oh. I told him to look up in that window on the right. He looked up and saw it too. We continued to stare at it for about a few seconds.
That's all you better do, stare at it. You better not step a foot
We then were
closer.
deciding if we should still go in. We settled it. It was just some person trying to buy drugs or something. Drug deals and teens were always
Please
there.
tell me they didn't go in.
We went
Please.
past no trespassing signs and explored the first level of the building.
Wow.
There was a lot of broken glass and graffiti everywhere.
Wow, buddy.
There was just one that said, "I love it when they run." Don't get me wrong, that was kind of creepy, but obviously done as a joke. So we made it up to the 2nd floor, and basically the same thing there, except for an old elevator shaft that was cracked slightly open. Dustin turned his flashlight on and put it in the elevator. We saw a whole lot of electrical junk, some dead birds and animals. If that wasn't freaky enough,
Oh my
we also
God.
heard something walking above us on the 3rd story. My heart felt like it was.
Y'all seen who it was, so why y'all bugging out?
And I told him we
You know
should
what?
leave. He said, "Nah, it'll be
Y'all
fine."
gonna-
And he started walking up to the 3rd story.
Y'all raising my blood
I
pressure.
didn't want to be left alone near the spooky elevator, so I followed behind him. We had our phones out, taking pictures of all kinds of
Wow,
stuff.
and
in
you
the
taking
previous
pictures.
floors. As
I'm
we
sorry,
walked up
I'm
the
sorry,
stairs,
y'all.
I swear we were being followed, and I told Dustin I heard
Yes, y'all
that. He
being
went
followed.
upstairs, and I wasn't far behind. What I saw on the 3rd floor of that asylum will haunt me for the rest of my life. There were pentagrams and animals all over the place. It smelled awful up there.
Oh my goodness.
There were some rooms in the back of the corner.
Oh my
Keep
goodness.
in mind, this is the floor we saw
These
that
had
thing
to
looking
get to
down
be
at
the
us from.
dumbest.
We heard what sounded like whispers coming from the middle room. We got our phones out and started taking pictures of it. After I got about 2 or 3 pics, I saw a figure step out of the room. My heart was beating so hard I swear it had come through
Yo.
my chest. It was the same person that was looking from the window.
See, these two is so dumb that I want to cry. 'Cause I've seen so many dumb signs. So many signs where they could ring. Number one, for starters, like say, if you didn't see the person in the window and you went in and you seen that on the floor, they seen that on the floor, what it said on the floor, and they're still gonna go proceed on. Listen, okay, I understand if y'all didn't know all this stuff was happening, but y'all know, and y'all study going on. Whatever happened to y'all, it's y'all fault, cause y'all kept going. God kept giving y'all signs like, hey, I was God like, now he's like, I'm taking my hands off of it. You know what? Whatever happened to you, it just happened to you. And don't come blaming me for nothing. Cause it's y'all with the foolishness. Yo, I really want to take my fist and just make a wrist through the phone and just knock both of them unconscious and just let whatever's in there get them. Cause they acting real
Me and Dustin were freaking
real
out.
ridiculous.
We didn't dare move. About 10 seconds of staring, and it started sprinting at us, screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I took off in a sprint down the stairs. Almost
Don't
dropping my
run
phone.
now. It's too
I
late.
ran and jumped out of the 2-story window and landed in some brush.
Wow.
I got up and ran some more before crouching behind some old shed.
Hey, where your
And
friend?
it hit me. Dustin was still in there.
Exactly.
I hadn't even noticed him when I ran down the stairs. I texted him and asked him where he was, but didn't reply.
Bump Dustin.
I sat crouched behind that shed for about 3 minutes before I saw Justin sprinting out of that house. I jumped from behind the shed and called his name. He saw me and screamed, "Run." He looked behind him. Then I
He
was
shouldn't have to tell you to run.
being chased by 2
Get up. Run.
Walked down the road, heading for the railroad. Dustin caught up to me. We didn't stop until we made it to the tracks.
Oh, this is the first story, y'all.
And looked up to see the 2 people standing at the door of the asylum.
Oh, it's 2 of them, bruh.
But then turned and walked back inside. We
I thought it was just one dude.
And sat down.
Oh.
Out of breath, we ordered some Sprite and fries.
Ooh-wee.
I asked him what happened after I ran. He said the guy chased him, and he ran down the stairs and saw me jump out of the window.
You asked me what happened? You was with me.
Where he found a
You seen
small
what
space
happened?
behind some boxes to hide behind. He said after he sat there for a bit, the guy came down the stairs with another person. They were watching to see where we went. Then his phone went off because I texted him. He said they looked his direction and saw him. They didn't chase him down the stairs and out the door. And
Yeah.
that's when I saw him when we ran.
That
We
music.
called the cops because we didn't want to get
is
in trouble
bumping.
for trespassing. I don't know those guys, and I don't know what they were doing in that building, but needless to say,
Hit it.
I don't think me or Dustin will ever go back there again. I'm 33 and I have a son named Jeffrey. He's 8 years old. Recently, I was able to save
Please don't do
enough money
nothing,
to buy
nothing
Jeffrey
stupid,
a
because you
PS4
got
for
kids,
his
bro.
birthday.
Don't
3 days before Jeffrey's
don't be
birthday,
like
I went on
the
Amazon and bought a
first 2
PS4
people
bundle
in the
that
first
came with
story.
FIFA
Please.
20,
You got
Last of Us,
kids.
God of War,
You got a whole family.
Madden, and
Don't
Fortnite.
be dumb. Please.
I ordered
Be
it
smart.
to be delivered on Jeffrey's birthday to surprise him. On the morning of Jeffrey's birthday, I looked outside and saw an Amazon delivery van pull up to my house. Once he knocked at the door, I told Jeffrey to answer the door, as it was a surprise for him. This
Oh.
was something I regret,
But still,
because once the door opened, a man stood there holding the PS4. And the way he
I don't care if it was a surprise for Justin, for your son. You ain't supposed to tell your little kid, be like, hey, go answer the door. It's a surprise for you. Because how the way times is now, you got to go answer that yourself. Or before you answer, if you got a peek hole, look out the peek hole. If you got blinds, look out the blinds. But hey, the UPS, you gotta make sure before you just open it, because you can't just open the door now. Because you just open the door, you might, what happened? And you wake up, you in heaven, and you like, how I get in heaven? God gonna be like, because you opened the door without looking and without asking or seeing who it was. But you just open the door. You got your little son opening the door, man. Man, come. I understand it's a surprise for him, but bruh, you should check first.
looked at Jeffrey didn't sit right with me. He just stood there with a really weird smile staring at my son with wide eyes.
Wow.
I could tell Jeffrey was feeling uncomfortable as he looked up at me in an unsettling and confused
I be
way.
like, bruh,
I thought the man
why
would
ain't
just
you looking
hand
at my
us
son
the
like
PS4
that?
and leave. But the
You
way
don't
he
want
was
these
staring at my
hands.
son, I had to step in. I signed for it and I said thank you. The man just said bye, but he wouldn't look at me. He kept his eyes on my son, who was now behind me. My son and I were both a little
Get
put
away.
off by that man.
Close the
but
door.
Jeffrey was happy with his new PlayStation and went to set it up in his room.
Oh, he got a
Following
PlayStation.
Monday, I picked
Okay.
Jeffrey up from
Okay.
school and asked him how his day was. He told me the usual stuff he always says. What he learned, what lessons he had.
I still got the
But
first
one of the things
PlayStation.
he said scared me. He told me during one of his breaks, when they had recess, there was a man. He had got his attention through a fence that was hidden by some bushes in the field where the children spend their break time.
Said
I
what?
asked Jeffrey what the man said to him. He told me the man was being friendly, asking him where his friends were,
How the
when
freak?
the school let out, and even if he wanted to go to his house afterwards. I asked if he knew this man,
How
and
you
if he had
know
seen him before. He said, yeah.
where the school
It was
was?
a man who delivered his PlayStation on his birthday. And not only that, he saw the man walking around outside watching our house from across the street. I asked Jeffrey when the man was outside our house. He told me in the evening over the weekend. He would look outside his bedroom window and see the man standing there across the street waving at him, smiling. I straight
My
away called the school and warned them about the man hanging around the school. I also told the delivery service and the police. I told them what my son had told me. The next 2 days, I kept Jeffrey home from school. I was so paranoid and worried I didn't want to let him out of my sight. That following Wednesday night, I woke up a little past midnight. I hadn't been sleeping well. I went to check on Jeffrey and went downstairs to pour myself a
he
glass of
coming
water.
everywhere with me.
I then jumped out of my skin when I saw a black figure outside the back door.
Oh, hold on. I just noticed something. Your whole house don't got no blinds, no curtains, no nothing. So he know exactly where y'all at. So he know when y'all home and when y'all not home. Even if he don't see the car. Because y'all don't got no blinds, no curtains, no nothing, nothing. That was ridiculous. I'm sorry about that. But y'all don't got none of that. Y'all just in the open, and man, they could see everything. Oh my gosh. I was about to press the wrong button.
Were handled, but it was locked.
I would be mad.
I looked out the window trying to see who it was, but there was no one there. Then
You know who
across the
it
road,
is,
I saw
nut.
a car started. It took off down the street. I called the police telling them someone had tried to enter my house. I got no sleep that night, and I'm still having trouble sleeping. This all took place about 2 weeks ago, and we haven't had any incidents since, but I'm still paranoid and frightened that this isn't over.
It sure ain't until he get caught. Once he in jail, then
When I was a kid, I used to ride my bike almost daily to the local library branch a few blocks from my home. One day when I was about 8, I rode down to the library like I normally did, parked my bike by the bike rack near the back entrance to the building, went in and
y'all
browsed
remember
for
back in the
whatever an
90s
8-year-old
going
boy
to the
would
library, playing them
read, checked out a
little,
few books, and
playing
left
them
the
author
library.
games and stuff. That
When I
junk
came out,
that junk
there was a man
That's
standing
fun.
over by the bike rack. I didn't think anything of it, so I just went over to get my bike so I could go home. As I went to get on my bike, he said, "Hi, my name is John."
And I would say, bye.
Then he asked me, "What's your name?" I was a stupid kid, so I told him. And then he said, "I work with your mom, you know. What is her name again?" So again, stupid kid. I told
you're not too bright, little kid. If this man said, I work with your mom, what's your mom's name again? I would have been like, bruh, you work with my mom. You should know her name. Get out my face. Cause you just straight up just lied on yourself just now. Get out my face. I promise you, I'm short enough, I'm tall enough to get you. Boom! To hit you right in your guts. Right here. Right? Mess all this up. How you throwing up everything. How you throwing up biscuits. Okay? I promise you, yeah, my mind be going to the other place. Cause it just drove me off highway. He said, I work with your mom. What her name is? What?
told him. And then he said,
Get off my
"Well,
face,
she wanted
man.
me to show you something over there behind those trees."
You better not go.
In hindsight,
Please.
and upon
No matter how
many
dumb
years
of
of
a kid
reflection
you is,
upon this incident,
you
the
should
guy
know.
sounds like the most inept kidnapper in history. It's like he was reading from the script of How Not to Abduct a Child. However, it was 35 years ago, and the most education
God.
kids got about this kind of thing was just don't talk to strangers. My parents were great, but this was just not something people worried about all that much back then. I was a bit creeped out when he said that my mom wanted him to show me something in the trees, and my radar for "this is weird" went up. I politely declined the invitation to the woods and hopped on my bike to pedal home. As I turned away, he grabbed the bar on the rear of my seat
Oh,
to
nah.
keep me from pedaling away.
Bump that.
Now, I
Run.
was scared.
Run.
I jumped off the back and re-entered the
run.
library. I made my way to the circulation desk and asked if I could use the phone. The woman at the desk told me that the phone was not for public use,
Oh,
so
wow.
I left the library again from the back entrance.
Oh, wow.
The front was always locked.
She in
Happily, my
cahoots.
bike was
She
still
know.
there, and the creepy man was gone. Thinking nothing of it, I jumped on my bike and set off.
I'm surprised he didn't
About
take
a
your
block
bike.
from the library, I noticed a brown car at a stop sign on a side street.
Oh,
I looked again,
that's why he didn't
and I
take
saw
your
the
bike.
creep behind the wheel. I realized many years later,
Put
and not
the
at this
pedal
time,
to the metal,
that he
brother.
knew my route home,
Dip.
which means he must have followed me from my house to the library. Whenever I think of this now, it gives me a sick feeling knowing that he could have taken me anytime he wanted on my way to the
Gone. Okay.
library. I was probably saved by something as random as someone walking a dog or grabbing their mail, and he didn't want any witnesses. I pedaled faster once I spotted him, and he pulled out onto the main road. I was on the sidewalk, and he was following me closely. When my bike sped up,
You better take
He
some
sped.
shortcuts.
all the while screaming and pointing at me. By now, I was screaming too, and moving pretty
Where
quickly
everybody
for
at?
an 8-year-old on a 5-speed, carrying library books. And no, I never thought to drop the books. I quickly turned onto a side street.
I would've
and
dropped
he
them
was
books
moving
so
too
fast.
fast to make the turn as well. And
I
I
know
saw
my
him
mom
turn
would have
onto the next
understand.
side
She would have
street.
understand.
The side street I turned on led to my street, but there was a hill that I could not pedal up between my street and I.
You
I
better
got about
put it to the
midway up
middle.
the
I
hill
don't care
when
how
I had
bad
to
it
get off and
was.
walk my bike up. He was parked at the very top of the hill, just staring at me.
Oh.
I literally walked right past him, and I will never forget his stare or the hate in his eyes. I have no
Bruh.
idea why he let me walk past him, why he didn't grab me, why he didn't kill me. I got to the top of the hill, got back on my bike, and pumped my legs to get home. At this
I've been
point,
pumping and
my
pumping and
house
pumping.
was less
I
than
don't care how bad
500
my
feet
legs
away.
run.
He turned his car around and followed me again.
Oh,
I
he
got to my
wants you
house,
bad.
dropped my bike, and screamed for my grandmother because she was the one home watching me while my parents were at work.
Oh.
The creep sped past my house and turned down a side street. I never saw him again. My parents
did you?
called the police when they got home.
Mm.
I remember that the creep drove a Plymouth Duster type car, and he was balding and was about 25 or 30 years old. I don't know if he was ever caught, or if he ever hurt any children, his name, or anything. All I know
Dang,
is that I
man.
have never gone back to that library.
You
It sounds
better
silly, but it's true. And for the next few years, I walked and rode my bike constantly, looking over my shoulder. And now, I am unbelievably protective over my children.
You
I
better
don't
be.
trust anyone easily.
You better be.
I don't trust anyone with my children. And my first reaction to a helpful teacher or coach is what is his or her motive or true intention.
Exactly.
Not a day goes by that I don't
People
think
is
about
nuts.
that day, and I wonder not, why me, but instead, why not me?
Yeah, why not? You. Listen, that story was. Oh, that was creepy. What's the crazy thing? They never caught the man, and they don't know who he was. So he's saying he didn't never see him again, but trust me, he see you. He see you. He watch you. He's waiting the perfect time to get you. He looking for you. So he watching you. He watching you, but you just don't see him. He see you. Trust. You trust. Psychopaths. That's how they do. Woo! The main story that really tripped me out was the first story. How would them two fools kept going when they kept seeing the signals, and they kept going in. And they seen the dude the first time up there, whatever, hey, they still gonna go in. And then they see the writing, like literally, blood is written on the floor. And they just have to keep going, keep going, keep going. They is so lucky that they didn't get messed up. Because they came this close. This close. That first that was real stupid. And I know how ridiculous they is and how slow they is. They gonna do it again. They gonna do it again. I know they is. I know they is. So until next time, you guys, peace, love, and all that good stuff. Please don't be like these people in the store. Especially the first up. Please, y'all. When y'all see the signs, the first time you see the signs, go by your business. Don't go expect. Don't go in no abandoned business. Please listen to the signs. Okay? Don't be like these fools, cause they almost got messed up real bad. Real bad. I am out. This video was way too long.